I
Yep.
think that the Maokai really let his team down with those item choices. He just kept building components and never finished items. He built Thornmail, which was a very peculiar first item rush that really wasn't going to help him that much in team fights in comparison to some other items. Um, I really disagree with his item choices.
Wow.
Okay, these.
And big throw from the Ezreal as well in that last fight after playing them so well to just jump into the Alawi.
Definitely. The Alawi just ran over their team. They definitely could not deal with her. Whenever she was around, they just had no control over what she did.
Especially with all these melee champions just going in for these fights. They just sat sitting on top of her.
Yeah, actually probably a good pick into a Galio mid as well, having the Alawi there, because you know that he's going to have to get up close. But still, especially with his build, was really squishy. So would just get absolutely blown up by the Alawi if he decided to go in.
All in all, a really good game. Well played.
I think both sides played really well. I think blue side sort of struggled with their comp, but they played it really well.
Yeah,
I
you can
agree.
see what their plan was going into the early to mid game.
I think realistically, they definitely had some lackluster TPs quite a few times in that game. The teleport bottom from Alawi, the teleport around Red Side's first tower coming in from Cassiopeia. That was very lackluster and just a common trend throughout the game. Maybe that's something they need to look into.
Yeah, especially as well giving them soul point, and also in the end, even though it doesn't matter, losing soul is still quite a big deal. And I think if the game went on any further, that would have been really tough for them to handle. It was just kind of lucky that they managed to do so well in that team fight. But I think actually when it came to the fights, in a lot of cases, I think Red Side actually did perform better. Probably just because they had a better comp, but yeah, I think that really helped them win this one.
Totally agree. I do think that I was a couple times getting caught out mid lane was quite unfortunate. I think that the red side team really should have focused warding on one side, and he should have just played towards that side and just avoided the sort of chance of a gank like that. I mean, Trundle and Galio, the only real uh, threat is Galio jumping in, and he can play kind of safe to that. If he just sticks to one side, sticks towards the side of his jungler, especially, I think he could have avoided a lot of those ganks, a lot of those solo deaths.
So,
Yeah, 100%.
who is your guys' player of the game and why?
I think it has to be Alawi.
It's going to be the Alawi.
She just, in my opinion, she ran over the game. Completely stomped the Maokai. She scared him so much they didn't know what item to build anymore. And they just could not deal with that threat. It was a constant split push threat, but also huge menace in the team fights. Really well played.
Yeah, that flank in the mid game where she came in from behind and split up the team, I could have gone a lot worse for red team there. I was a little disappointed with the TP plays from her, but I think overall she did an exceptional performance.
She pushed her lead really well. I think if it went the other way, it would definitely have to be the Galio. Just in terms of the impact that he had on the map. I think just even small things like pushing the lane in when objectives were coming up, allowing his team to play so confidently in the river. I think it came back to bite them a little bit further along down the line because they got a little bit too overconfident. But some huge plays like getting the solo kill on the Cassiopeia bot lane and then TPing in and turning the fight around Baron was just huge.
That was my play of the game. I know they didn't work out, they didn't get the win, but that was a brilliant play from Galio.
Yeah, I think he did really good. But I think all in all, the comp from Blue Side was better. I really like the Zac pick as well. Yeah, you can see picking up the most assists just because he was able to peel so well and obviously combo really nicely with the Yasuo. I mean, anytime you come up against Zac Yasuo, it's going to be a horrible time.
That's when you dodge.
That is when you dodge. I mean, just having 2 knockups in your kit, it's pretty rough.
I definitely agree. I also, onto your previous point, I really agree with Galio being a strong contender for player of the game. I mean, if you think back to near the start of the game, he ran up, he kept getting those wards on Raptors, just had constant awareness of where Zac was in the jungle, and because of that, his team could just play around wherever he wasn't. and really forced plays, and I think that contributed to a lot of their success in early game. Just those simple wards, simple pushing in, getting that vision for the team.
Yeah, I agree. I think I would have liked to see, rather than Maokai, some more of an aggressive bruiser top laner. I actually really don't think that they needed another tank. I think they would have found a lot more success if they went for something else.
Do you think we could get Michael in here for a quick chat?
Post game
thoughts. What was he thinking that game? Because it certainly was a roller coaster. It'd be interesting to see how they.
Let's get the Galio in here.
Oh, yeah, let's get the Galio in here.
Ask him about how he feels about the loss. Maybe the Maokai as well.
It'd be interesting to see, because obviously in the early game they were. Whew, that was a big bad player in the early game. They got 4 for 0, I believe, 4 for 1. And then they still brought it back, got the win. Ah, okay, too late. It's fine, we'll get them next game. Yeah, maybe we'll get somebody a bit quicker in next game. Maybe like straight after, and then we can talk about after.
Sounds good to me. I do wonder if they're going to go for a similar team comp if it's open. I mean, that was a very strong team comp. Aside from the early misplays, they scale incredibly well. They are relatively versatile early game with what they can do with that team comp. I wonder if they're just going to go back to that if they can this second game.
Okay, I'm just going to take a quick minute and I'll be right back.
I will too, actually. Small minute intermission.
Cool.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. You too.
Had to get some water for that throat. Always stay hydrated.
Same here. Hydro homies.
Hydro homies.
Overall, though, some really strong performances coming out. Were you a fan of both team comps in general? Was there something you would like to change if given the option in either team?
Well, I always think Yasuo is a bit of a cheese, but with that instant knockout from Sejuani, it seemed to work. But it was trying to find his way through these 5 melee champs to sort of their damage dealers for the knockup. There was a few times where Yasuo just ended up ulting Bard, which is not quite ideal.
Especially because Bard could potentially delay so long as well.
But again, on a lot of teams, like there's not so many melee champs. Like it could just engage on anyone. So I thought they had a good team, but I think it's just this Maokai pick. I think the game would have been a lot more even with like a damage dealer top lane.
It depends, though. I don't know what this particular player's comfort picks are, but you have to be pretty confident to pick it into an Alawi on the assumption that you want to snowball. That's for sure. I think that either way, Alawi is pretty oppressive in lane. His idea, I'd imagine, is just picking something that he thinks will really help the team. And I do think the Maokai ults came in strong. He did get some good Maokai ults there, but just really, I really do think his build path caused a lot of issues.
Yeah, that Alawi really is good against these tanks. That we only have one way in. Like you jump in on them, you lose the trade. It's like where she wants them to be. But looking like at his top champion pool, it's just everything he would have played was the same problem. Maybe the Nasus would have been a much better choice. Sort of just scale the way up, have that big Q damage late game. Still in Champions Select here.
They should be getting into game soon.
Just as we say it.
Interested.
Oh, it's almost the same. So what do you think of these two different changes here?
Okay, so we have the Olaf in the jungle. It's always a solid pick in my book. I think he clears really well. He duels really well, especially early game.
Especially against a Kayn.
And welcome back, Toby. Yeah, I really do think he could potentially abuse this Kayn a lot in the jungle early, if he's tracking well. I'd like to see Cassiopeia, if possible, walk up, ward those Raptors, keep an eye on where the jungler is, just like we saw the Galio doing last game. I'm not too familiar with the top lane matchup, we'll say.
I believe it's the same problem as the Alawi. This Mordekaiser is just kind of melting. Once he gets that Liandry's, gets some armor pen, he engages on him, puts the shield up, and he just starts taking away them health bars.
Yeah, it's a different kind of ball game, I think, than before. I mean, I think in this matchup, a good Maokai will just try to farm up as much as possible and not let the Mordekaiser snowball. Obviously, with the Mordekaiser ult, it's a lot harder to do that, but still, I think with good itemization, you can shut him down quite easily. We might see a decent amount of pressure being put up here to the top side because, you know, the Mordekaiser is very gankable against a Maokai and a Kayn. But yeah, I still think one-on-one, it definitely favors the Mord.
I think the Morgana pick here is quite interesting. If you look at the Yasuo and Sejuani bot lane that they've decided to run again, they don't have a great way to destroy a Morgana shield, meaning that it does make it a lot harder for them to actually do anything in this 2v2 situation. If you think of the likes of Thresh or Bard, where you can, by putting a certain amount of points in an ability, you can break that shield very easily and the CC will still go through. They don't have that luxury in this lane.
I know with the engage coming through, once it doesn't knock up, that Lucian damage return is going to be a lot different to what that Ezreal's was.
Yes.
That's going to be quite so free catches on them, especially in that early game.
Yeah, overall, I do like the Morgana pick though. I think if the Black Shields are good enough, it could be quite nice to shut down some potential picks. But I'm interested to see how this Syndra Cassiopeia lane, because if I remember, I think it does favor the Syndra early on in terms of kill pressure.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting lane. I think either way, it's a lot easier for Syndra to play the lane. I think that it's pretty straightforward. She can harass with Q pretty easily without really putting herself in danger. Although the return damage, if Cassiopeia does in turn hit a poison and can stack a couple E's, it is huge.
I think it all relies on them E's from Syndra. If they don't land, then Cassie's just gonna have a free time. Especially once that is it the Archangels? that the right word?
Archangel Staff.
Yeah, once that's stacked up, that shield is going to stop the one hits, and then the return damage is just going to be big from Cassie.
Does have the ignite advantage, or should I say, Cassie does have the TP advantage as well, which I think is a really smart pickup here. I think, especially as we get further down the line, they'll be able to abuse that a lot more. Especially seeing as Cassiopeia is actually a really good split pusher once she gets the items.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that it's really good that they didn't go for the Ignite on Cassiopeia mid here. All she wants to do is scale. The longer it goes, it's going to be harder for Syndra to get that burst on her. She always builds, the Archangel Staff, the Rylai's, the Andries, all those health items that Syndra is going to have a tough time getting through. And realistically, they don't have any health, sort of percentage health damage on the enemy team, as far as I can see, except maybe a blade from Lucian. So they're going to have a real tough time taking down this Cassiopeia late game. She farms up.
Yeah, I agree. I think the longer this goes, it's going to get really tough for the other team. I think similar to last game, they're actually going to try quite hard to snowball some of these lanes. I think if they do get that, and I'm thinking especially with the Kayn, if the Kayn can get quite far ahead, he's going to end up being able to shut them down quite nicely. Similar with the Syndra as well. I think they'll become very hard to deal with if they get some kills.
Is everyone covering these lanes here? Did that Kayn drop a ward back for the sweeper?
Looks like it.
Interesting.
Very smart strategy. Many jungler. Looks like they've both done the same. Very common. Just walk up, drop a ward, recall before 1 minute, and get your sweeper and walk back. And that way, whenever you're ganking, whenever you're moving around, you can just make sure you're not running over vision and getting set up to get killed.
Especially with this jungle matchup, I would hate to be caught by this Olaf.
Definitely.
Do you not
Be
want to
interested see
like
what
know where
Barca
you're going?
does. No, he'll lose anything, but you do see some interesting paths from Kane's early on, going for level 3 ganks. See what he decides to do.
He's starting on that blue buff, so he's not going for the race start.
Interesting.
A race.
Looks like
That's
he's going
my
towards
season
wolves
3.
now. Yeah. Some skirmishing going on bot lane. A very flashy Lucian skin coming in.
Beautiful.
I think early level 2 from either team could be quite scary down there.
Yeah, from your guys' extensive experience playing bot, what's the best thing to do when you come up against a Yasuo lane? Is it to just punish him as much early on?
Just dodge. No, realistically, it's a very frustrating experience. Depending on your lane, if you can all in, then it's not as scary.
Or if you can zone him off CS, he does have a hard time trying to keep up with CS. If you can keep him away from the minions.
I think the main point is it's very matchup dependent. It's hard to give general advice because it's a very versatile sort of champion. It's very interesting coming in with the Sejuani as well because especially at 6, it's such easy setup.
Oh, Kane's coming in for that level 3.
Knockup.
Saves the W.
He's getting some early stacks. He has Token Conqueror, so he'd be looking for that red Kayn.
Yeah, I thought he might do that. It is quite a nice clear on Kayn to do that, to go level 3 and quite nice easy gank up top. Because you do want to get that kind of early aggression, but big trades coming in bot lane.
Ooh.
Lucian trading back a lot of damage there. That's the Lucian for you instead of Ezreal. It's a lot less conditional damage.
Yeah.
You can't just put a wind wall up and be okay.
I don't even think these guys are safe under tower here. I think got by the wrong binding here, and they do go down. Ooh, a little fight breaking down. Syndra throwing that crab away. Really making sure.
Cassiopeia can contest this, I think. Maybe if he beelines right to bot right now.
Exhaust's gone down.
And heal.
Now onto Morgana.
Needs to be careful.
Oh, knock up and the stun at the same time. Heal's gone down too.
Coming down.
I think he just got his shield coming up as well, which was quite lucky there to avoid the damage from the auto.
So they got both their combat sums out there, which does take a lot from their fight. I think if he comes back in and they do the same again, they do win next time.
Both flashes still up from bot lane though, whereas only flash on Sejuani remains, and they do have the black shield to stop the Sejuani engage, so they're in a somewhat favorable position.
Yeah, big CS advantage as well. I think this is probably going the way that they wanted it to go.
Farm's pretty even across the board, except from in the bot lane. Cassiopeia did start with that Sapphire Crystal, definitely wanting that early tier. Just farm up, not really look for that too much aggression early.
Get some nice trades off here.
Should be taking an early back and just picking up that tier as soon as you can.
So with that TP, it's very easy not to miss any minions, not to have a bad back timing.
Yeah, she's in a great spot here.
Mordekaiser has a nice wave position at the moment, but it's going to start slowly pushing out there. Kayn might start pathing his way back up towards it without that flash.
Yeah, I do think it's a good idea for the Kayn to try and get this top lane matchup pushing in favor of the Maokai. But same again, I mean, the Yasuo without his flash is going to be quite an easy target. See more fights coming out.
Ooh,
Evolution
that's a
walks
good
very
Black Shield.
confidently.
The Black Shield coming out, but will it be enough? I don't think so.
There's a flash. She's
Oh.
out. Oh, got both
Yeah.
flashes. It was a good
Very
Black
special
Shield.
evolution. It was
Yeah.
good, but he did kind of walk right up into melee range there. Not sure if that was a misclick or not.
Maybe a bit of overconfidence coming in. They bought the Black Shield. They used the Black Shield to block the ability. Sorry, and they maybe just get a bit overconfident.
Especially
I
after
think
that
they
first
can't
fight, they did win it very hard, and then, as I was saying, they come back to do it again with fresh health spells and no combat spells, and they start just shitting
Yeah,
out
right.
damage.
And they've got some really nice prio here to go into the jungle.
I like this. They're walking up. They're getting vision. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Cassiopeia. Looks like
Yeah.
they're going to try some cheese. Maybe see if Morgana walks over, or if they can catch a Kayn.
It was a nice try. They have full vision. It's like
They did
Syndra's
see
gonna
Kayn top, but they decided to leave that one.
Too much aggression coming in from the Olaf early. I think he's just kind of been power farming. Oh, that's an all in though.
Oh,
And
Wow.
that's Syndra for you.
that is Syndra.
Yeah, the double Dorans and the Amplifying Tome, as well as Dark Seal. She got a really strong back off. He was zoned into lane, I think. It was rough. He wanted to trade back. He didn't want to give up that presence, but the bust
Yeah.
coming in from Syndra.
So that's why I quite like the Syndra pick in with the Kayn, because it does allow the Kayn to be so much more confident, because you know that they'll win those 2v2s. And yeah, pushing this now as well, trying to counter jungling. Although I
Blue
think they
team
might
does
they know
know.
about it.
Yeah, they
They
were
do know.
picking it. You got
They could
people
get
coming in from all
Syndra
angles.
back.
The Kayn's gonna
Also-
Her
be
back.
I think not letting her back there was a good call. Try and get things from both.
I'm not sure they saw her recalling because they didn't have a ward in there.
no.
I think it was just unfortunate timing. They did get the Kayn flash though. Fighting top.
Doesn't look like it's gonna
Yeah.
end in anything. She's got a lot of HP of that Spectre girl.
Yeah, he's gonna probably go Spirit Visage.
I think Null would probably be a better option because this mod's gonna definitely go for the Leandries, and they got them double ticking from a 3
Oh, yeah, you're
auto
right.
passive. Got Kayn pinging his way up here. Blue team's moving towards
A
Dragon
big
to trade
wave.
for.
Flashes up again.
Maybe you can delay, use that wave a bit.
Mod has no ult. I think he's gonna go down here. His flashes up. Oh, he still goes down. But nice return from Blue, going straight towards that dragon.
Flash comes up and it's down again without much delay. Without that flash, he's sort of a sitting duck. I mean, he's not on an item spike. Kayn can just keep coming up there if he does want to. So I'm not
Suppose
sure that's what he
no-
wants to play for.
No Rift Herald here though. Even with the dragon taken down, I think it probably would have been a good call. The Syndra could have come up. Yeah,
I mean-
strange that they didn't go for that.
This would be a really good time to force it. I mean, Maokai has not gone back yet. Maybe they could look for it here. Kane's at the bottom side of the map.
I think they were expecting them to go for it. I think it would have been a great trade.
Spooked off a bit by the scuttle there. I think they would have gone for it
Yeah.
if it wasn't.
They didn't know if the top side was being taken from Olaf.
Still a big CS difference in bot lane. Gonna start getting some of these players. It's a big wave. Stacked up nicely for them. I think my Yasuo's in solo queue would have taken that knockup.
Take this one though.
They're
Oh,
going in.
Black Shield wasted on Lucian.
Lucian flashed down. This might be 2 kills.
Oh, wonderfully played.
That is
waited for that
big.
black shield and straight knock up the other one. That's really good.
And
From
that's
Sejuani.
Yasuo for you. All he takes is that one overstep, and he can just engage.
Yeah, good. Nice
Gets
to go
that
on the
snowball
Morgana as
going.
well. They always, I think, when you're going up against Morgana, it is quite nice to hard engage on her because a lot of the time she'll just reflex Black Shield the AD carry and you can just kill her, especially without any stopwatch.
Ooh, good
Kane's getting
pullback.
caught here though.
Nice grab. He ults to avoid the Maokai ult.
Beautiful.
Very smart. Got the flash from top as well. I
they've
think
got
they
a
get
kill
both
here.
here. Flash coming in from Olaf to finish it. Maybe they go Herald after this.
Syndra will be around, but she won't be doing much. Maybe she'll look for Cassie, trying to stop her getting back into lane.
There's a big ton of events there. That's 2 kills top, 2 kills bot lane as well. I think they've just brought them right back into the game.
100%. They've actually managed to secure a gold lead now.
Certainly not a 2v2 I'd want to be a part of. I think Mordekaiser
definitely not.
Olaf never lose that fight against them.
Looks like Lucian's struggling to finish his first item. He's not quite there. I like the Berserker Greaves coming in from Yasuo. Helps with the movement as well as them being very efficient, just gold wise.
Yeah,
with
I
that
think
new
that
Zeal.
Oh yeah, with the Zeal buffs. I think that they're still super strong. He's got a level advantage on him as well. He's got the Kayn coming down though.
Binding's
looking for
down.
something.
Maybe they can look for something here. She just used binding without
Exhaust just wasted there too.
Missed the knockup.
Sejuani ult coming.
That's a good
Morgana.
binding just before death. Oh,
That is very nice awareness there from Kayn to predict the all-in.
Very nice passing.
Yep.
Olaf's coming to cover bot side. Maybe protect that turret.
another all-in from Sej. Oh,
the Q.
got it again.
Brutal. Brutal.
Yep.
Sort of what you'd expect from that matchup there. She just always has that option. I think not taking that Doran's early is sort of working out against her.
Yeah.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
With Sejuani coming back here.
I do feel for the Cassiopeia. I mean, it's so easy for Syndra to just set up that now, especially now that she's snowballing. With that Dark Seal, I think it might be worth putting some pressure on her. Maybe trying to get that bounty.
Nice pick though from the Sejuani.
Just getting the free kill. Just handing over gold.
Oh, it
kill. Was that the TP home guard back?
It was.
It was. He did use both summoners, but that's 100% worth it. I mean, he gets to deny some minions, he gets the bounty, the solo gold,
got the
and
flash
the solo XP, don't forget, has been buffed recently, meaning it's a lot more impactful, especially early game.
Especially that 250 bounty, that is practically getting 2 kills there. Maybe at a more worthwhile stage of the game too. With all that pressure in bot lane.
Oh, you can see the matchup top lane is starting to go pretty badly for the Maokai. It's going to really struggle in these trades.
And he is going for that Spirit Visage, which surprises me.
Yeah. But I guess, you know, the healing on Maokai is quite good, but, you know, once you get further down the line, I think Adaptive Helm's way better.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's
a big Cassiopeia ult, but Syndra just comes.
You just stepped up for that play.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's 2 kills back on the Syndra. Not sure what they were doing there, just didn't respect the pick potential, especially with the Kayn.
Especially after just getting after all that gold, that's the extra bit of plate gold, not quite worth.
No.
But she will be getting a bit back there. I'll force back anyway.
Be interested to see what the Cassiopeia picks up first. Maybe going for this Rylai's.
I think Rise is definitely the better option this game. The extra HP and the slow will really help her get away.
Picking up some control wards throughout the team. It's really good to see. Even just using them defensively on your jungle entrances can give you a lot of information on if the enemy jungle is trying to set up anything.
Yeah, especially now with both objectives kind of recharging. Be interesting to see when the top laners start to kind of come into this game. They've both just been farming up top, kind of not really doing too much. Yeah, I think the next team fight will probably see both of them coming in. I feel like it favors the Mordekaiser at the moment, just because of the fact that he is a little bit further ahead, does have that kill. Especially at this stage in the game, he's just going to be shredding through some of those carries.
It really depends who this Mordekaiser ends up ulting in these fights.
Very interesting though. It looks like the Mordekaiser might be building Ninja Tabi, which I'm not so sure against. I mean, he's going to be sort of soaking up a lot of damage, but I think he really does want those Merc Treads coming in with the Syndra stun, the Morgana binding, and ultimate.
Yep.
It's good enough.
Potential
It's taking a lot of damage.
Here.
Ooh,
A big
Beautiful.
Cassiopeia coming in, the chain CC.
Oh wow.
Already down. Yasuo taking 2 potentially. Oh no, they
Lucian dashing in,
Lucian
Morgana
dodging the
stun.
tornado.
That was a beautiful combo there with the Cassiel into the Sejuani as well. Really nicely done.
Lucian desperately trying to clear that wave, but just finding his fate.
Magpie
will.
coming in.
100% agree.
I think they just lose this if they carry on.
I think Syndra needs to be very careful in these fights because it just shows how easily it is for her to get taken out. Because without the Maokai there, she really is a sitting duck.
Having the option to just turn around the fight like that with Cassiopeia. So like back away. They're all looking at her. Turn them all to stun. She just has to sit there and get dropped. All that gold just wasted in that fight.
Yep.
Could
Syndra
be a
coming in
kill. It's a
big.
flash. I think he's okay. Kane
Mordekaiser
might look to
really
dive.
overstepping his bounds this game, blowing his flash every time it's up.
I mean, Kane's just sat there waiting. Can he get that? Oh, he
Yes,
can.
he can.
It looked like he wasn't even looking. Didn't even try
it
to
might have
stop
been a
it.
shot. They may get
I
top
see that.
tower pressure off that, but it looks like they're just going to rotate down river.
Honestly, looking for a fight here is probably the best option for them. They have this opportunity to catch with the Morgana bindings. There's no TP from Mordekaiser. Yasuo is wanting something.
Didn't quite get the knock up there, but on an Olaf, it's not the ideal target anyway. We're just looking for some poke.
That's Olaf ult.
Early ult from Olaf, not wanting to risk the Syndra stun coming in. The hitbox is known to be a little dodgy.
Why doesn't Olaf get rid of CC already applied to him?
It does, it does.
It's very early from him.
Bit of a
Yeah,
trigger
it
finger
was.
there.
Although I think they can
I
just
think-
take this Herald for free with the Mordekaiser TP being down. It's sort of giving away here.
Looks like they don't want to contest this, especially with Olaf ult down. He'll be a sitting duck, he won't be able to move up.
They need to be careful here top lane as well.
It's like they've overstepped again for this. So
They
you
have
can get
vision.
the early stun.
He has the wind wall available.
Okay, that's a good axe from Olaf. Looks like they're going to try too hard on this.
Wind wall coming in, blocking the part of the Maokai ult.
Okay, they're tanking up this tower, but it still seems very ambitious. It's like they've played with this tower rather nicely.
Wow.
That was a well-executed dive.
Almost went really badly with the Yasuo ult.
Yeah.
But I think they just, used their tankiness there with the Maokai.
Then he reset the
Yeah.
aggro halfway through with his W.
Teleport coming in mid lane, trying to save the turret there.
Needs to be careful here.
She might still be able to get it on this next wave, but she doesn't know.
Kane is coming down
exactly where
behind.
Kane is.
Kept moving straight there, but it's gone over a ward somewhere. That's a good
Flash
flash.
from Maokai coming in.
It's a good
Nice
Cassiopeia
goal.
roll, but just not enough damage turning back, especially with this healing from both of them.
Yeah, Red Kane does.
She might
heal
have
a
this with the
lot.
Seraphs.
One more Q. Yeah.
It's close. They did manage to get the bot tower off that skirmish, though. The mid tower is very low.
Kane just gets out here.
I mean, they might just try and force Cloud here. I mean, Maokai and Kane delayed so long their backs that
I think they
can't
take it.
really contest.
They wasted a lot of time.
And 2 flashes been down there. Although Cassie's was traded too. Puts her at a bit of a target. Syndra might be looking for another play on her.
The support just trying to clear out some vision, get some information, see what's up, what's not.
So this blue team's vision is very good this game. It's always got it places. Spotting Kane there in the river, like long before. I thought she's still not getting away.
Gargoyle Stone Plate coming in from Sejuani. It's very strong. He's going to want to be in the middle of those fights, just soaking up damage.
We saw how strong it was when it was up last game, but we also saw how quickly he dies when it's not.
Mm.
Making sure to just take these small fights and not going in and out of them.
Playing very confident there. If that binding hit, he might have been in trouble. Syndra's very strong on the spike right now.
One
That
more
was
Q.
Just a
getting
solo
well
kill.
played.
The Ludens, the Oblivion Orb, and the Sorcerer Boots. She's so strong.
She knows exactly how much damage she can do. What a
Ooh.
tornado!
Big Yasuo ult coming in.
The Morgana stuns coming in there.
Syndra's on the side here.
There's not quite enough damage.
See, the collapse just quick. I think Morgana delays so well with them bindings and the Morgana
Mm.
ult.
Yeah. That's why I think the Morgana pick is really strong into this team. It's really good for shutting down the Yasuo.
We did say that at the start, but I will say that it just feels like they're a bit lacking damage. I mean, on that fight, he didn't have his Infinity Edge completed. If he had backed for that first, it might have gone a different way.
Also, this
Blade.
Cassiopeia just not quite at the item she needs.
Mhm.
As soon as that Leandri is finished, she'll be putting out almost double the damage when she gets hit on them.
Oh, overextension there from the Maokai.
Without a lot of that front line out the way, they might be able to get some more catch here.
So another kill.
Ooh,
Oh, the
A wind
Q
wall coming in,
just
but not
hits.
quite enough.
that's a good stun there. She's going down for that. Big shutdown to Yasuo.
They're going to
Could
keep
keep chasing
chasing,
him.
maybe. If they can
Yeah.
get one more, they might try Baron here.
Can they just not try Baron anyway? I think they're going to try.
I think they will. I mean, the backs have been delayed.
No TP on the Maokai either.
Saw how quick it went down with just Cassiopeia last time. This time they have Yasuo up too.
And Yasuo's on his spike now. He has the Infinity Edge.
Kane's going to
Kane
try and go
is
for a
up.
steal.
Quite early.
It is a 50-50.
Yeah, but he goes down before it's even.
Kane
even
dies. This
close.
should be free.
Oh,
Way
the smite
too
was
early
late.
there.
The smite was late, but it is picked up.
Didn't see if the smite was up straight away. It
That's-
might have been down.
Saw it go down to 200 HP there. One of them Lucian
Yeah.
bots gone through. Whew.
Nonetheless, they did manage to secure it, and that is huge at this point in the game. The gold has been basically equalized, and they are a dragon up.
I think that Mordekaiser catching the Maokai there, keeping him down for that fight.
It's very big. I think one thing to note here as well for the next fight is that Exhaust is up from the Lucian, which is probably one of the biggest shutdowns you can have on a Yasuo when he ults in. So they'll be worth watching out for that.
Was that used in the previous fight when he got the big knockup?
I don't think so. I think they used it during the dive top lane, if I remember. But I think every opportunity, the Lucian's just been using that on the Yasuo to shut him down in the fights, because he has IE now. He's looking pretty strong.
With Cassio coming into her Leandri's just now with that Rylai's Leandri's combo, she's going to be putting out just as much damage.
Huge
Yeah.
Thram spike coming in. It's also very interesting. The Morgana has chosen to go for Zeet. Both supports going for Moby Boots just to get around, get that vision out, join all skirmishes that are happening. But the Zeet is very interesting. I mean, she's going to want to jump in, get that good ult at a certain point when she sees an opportunity, get that hourglass. She'll be getting a lot of damage off. Lucian will always be nearby.
Certainly being a pain in the ass in these fights so far. Really helping them win. Ooh,
Maokai again.
I'll be pulling short from Cass.
Might
that's
need
a
to push the
Rylai's
ult.
Leandri's. It's just disappearing. Just has nowhere
do
to go.
anything.
It's a flash.
Flash for Flash coming in here.
Still
Yeah.
holding onto his
Just-
ultimate.
Slowly melted, but he did get there.
Fight coming in mid lane.
That Morgana ult.
Mordekaiser ult just tearing up over there.
Again, just so much interference from that Morgana.
Sejuani, when she's alone, she just can't do anything. She does require that Yasuo.
And the Guardian Stone Plate is just not being used, actually, in that fight.
I think the Kane as well has been doing really, really well in these team fights here. Seems to be a really nice kind of threat that they can't focus too much just because of how slippery he is, allowing the rest of the team just to kind of pop off as much as they want. I think in a lot of these
agree.
fights as well, the Syndra is just able to stay so healthy, so hard. Like you said, the interference just makes it so difficult for them to get anything on top of her.
I mean, this Cassiopeia able to just tear through the Maokai because he didn't buy that adaptive helm that really does do wonders in defending against her. But I have to question the choice of maybe skirmishing mid there as a 4v4 when they don't have Cassiopeia, who, you know, she does do a lot of damage. She's outputting a lot of the DPS in these fights, and her not being there, I'm not sure about taking that fight.
You know, there's been a couple of those. I think this game interesting, or fights that probably shouldn't have happened that are turning it. I think that's why this has gone so back and forth. Blue buff going onto the Syndra there. She is very close to completing her Rabadons. She's got the Morellos to kind of counteract some of that healing. I think that's a really good pick. Think of the Olaf, think of the Cassiopeia.
I think the Maud.
And the Maud as well, the Maud W. I think she's, yeah.
I mean,
she's
you can even make an argument for the Conqueror coming out on the Yasuo here. Just such an efficient buy. I totally agree with you.
I mean, it's one of the best items in the game, I think, for control mages. Especially as Conqueror is such a big meta pick at the moment.
It's a very good effect just because there's so much healing in the game, but efficiency-wise, Oblivion Orb into Morello's really doesn't give you much. You're basically paying all that gold for a little bit of health and just the Grievous Runes effect. So let's just see if it pays off, I suppose.
Just come in, just getting this vision.
Yeah, they've got a lot of pressure on the map at the moment.
I think that coming up for a while there. Minute 20 on Baron, 3 minutes on Drake.
Yeah, not sole point for another dragon, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of priority they put on these objectives.
Cassiopeia choosing not to go for a Rabadons here, going for I assume finishing the Morellos.
Interesting buy.
Not terrible. The Red Cane obviously will be outputting a lot of healing. The Maokai, the Lucian with his blade, I'm sure will be healing quite a lot. But she won't have that raw damage, that's for sure.
I'm gonna struggle to walk up to this, like right into the face of Maokai. Syndra's backing here? 25 seconds on Baron. They're just going to give up all their vision if they bow back here.
Yeah.
Interesting as well, coming from the Cane, the armor pen. So was that Lord Dominic's? Can't remember the name of the item, but rather than going for a Death Stance, isn't that kind of standard on Cane to go Death Stance after your cleaver?
I think it's about this Mordekaiser. I think he wants the opportunity to fight him. Because weirdly, he's gone for a dead man's Tabi.
I really don't agree with the Tabi choice.
I don't agree with the dead man's either.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just be faster getting around the map. I'm not sure.
I think even a full mail would have been a better choice if you did want to go for that armor route.
I'd agree.
Some big aggression coming in from red side. I think they really want to try and get something here.
Syndra's frontlining here.
He's just not able to get that vision.
That is a big Cassiopeia. It's a bit far. Straight onto the Lucian. The pullback from the Mordekaiser. Who's he got into his ult?
Syndra still alive?
Can't say.
But she's so far away, I don't think she can do enough damage back.
She's kind of flashing out, but she's going to fall.
Red
Cane coming in big.
He's healing so much. Not even the healing reduction there can stop him.
Even the Grievous Wounds just can't stop him. I mean, the Mordekaiser can't get away, so he's just trying to fight. Such a big flank, but they just couldn't make anything off it.
I think he might catch her out here as well.
Maybe Olaf can help her out here.
Oh, well played!
Good shutdown coming in. That's 800 gold. Can they finish the Syndra too?
That's a good flash.
A big flash.
Oh, it's not enough.
Not
They're going to go too far for it. Oh, well played, Cassiopeia.
Done it clean.
Cassiopeia is coming in huge that fight. It was all her.
That wasn't even a TP. She's just wandered around then.
How did she even get there?
I don't know how she managed to do that, but the red team's vision was clearly lacking. After all that time around there, they just let themselves get flanked like that. Really well played by Cassiopeia.
Wow. big overextension as well. I think the Kayn probably got a little bit too overconfident, not realizing that it's quite hard for him to actually get on this Cassiopeia if he doesn't have his ultimate.
It did go all down to inches there, though. It could have gone either way, but Cassiopeia just played it too well.
As you can see, the Grievous Wounds coming in, but not doing nearly enough to stop the healing from Kayn. He was just healing it all back when there was only 2 on him. They could not deal with him.
The only person that
Kayn is brutal.
Is this Cassiopeia, now that Morello is finished.
I think not seeing as much of an impact from Mordekaiser as I would have liked to. He had such a good lead early on, but I think his itemization is just meaning he just doesn't do enough damage in these fights to be much of a threat. Anyone that he ults is probably going to be able to 1v1 him.
Cassiopeia did just walk over a ward there, straight pinged out by the red team, so they know they're doing this Baron, or at least heading towards it.
She's
can
not
they
there
finish
straight
it
away.
in time? I mean, Cassiopeia and Yasuo, they're going to be melting it.
Cassiopeia's going to be waiting on that ult.
They've got it.
Oh, they get
managed to
free. I
get it.
think they get away too.
Windwall can come in and block that.
It's just too late.
A really good rotation from blue team. They just trade the dragon. It's not Soul. They lose 1 Cloud Dragon for Baron.
Yep. I think that was
And
a really
now-
bad choice for blue team there. Sorry, for red team to do that drag.
I think just a really good call from blue team.
Mm.
It was such a quick. You saw them like path over from Dragon straight over that way, avoiding
And they
all
know
the
how
wards
fast to do
too.
it.
No
Yeah.
hesitation, just a full commitment by the team. I really like to see that. They may look for a fight now. The Baron buff does give combat stats as well as a lot of gold and bonus to your minions if you fight in them.
Straight engage on Solution. He's got him third. Can't quite catch it. Mordekaiser is in the ult with Kayn. Not sure that's quite where
I
he
think,
wants him to
I think
be.
it's okay. They can't really
Wow.
help him there.
This
He will try
delay.
and delay.
Full health again.
Healing is just ridiculous. Going back in, big
Oh,
damage from the Syndra there.
Cassiopeia ult whiffing. The Kayn is just chasing down. A big Yasuo ult coming in.
It's just not quite enough.
Olaf trying to trade with Lucian, but he just can't quite do it. They're getting run down. The Baron buff not quite enough.
Just trying to delay here so fast.
He's buying a lot of time. Maybe he should have just kept running, get a couple extra seconds.
Ooh.
Oh, the ultimate was still up from the Syndra. Maybe wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think he was. I don't know whether they can defend. They might just run down. I mean, the Mordekaiser and the Sejuani will be coming up, but got 4 members of the red team still up, pushing here.
Don't think that's game though. I think they're just getting in here. They're gonna have to back out.
Looks like it.
3 up from blue side here.
At the very least, the saving grace may be the mid inhib, not the worst in the world. You know, if Dragon does come up, if Baron does come up, you would much rather have a side lane inhibitor because it helps a lot more. You do get a lot of golden XP from the super minion, so maybe blue team can take the loss and just try and make something of it.
Such a shame because I think Baron play was such a good, was so good for them, but kind of rushing down mid and then getting killed like that really does mean that actually the soul point position for red is really strong.
Just as
I think they're-
Mordekaiser taking the Kayn in, when he just sit there and just wait for his entire team to get there, get in position, and then he comes out full HP again. He just delayed for so long.
Definitely think Mordekaiser should be delaying, maybe saving his ult for even the Syndra if he can get in range. I mean, he's been in range quite a few of these fights. The Lucian does have QSS, so he should be able to just cleanse out if he gets ulted.
It's tough though because the Syndra is going to destroy. He doesn't have any magic resist. I think the Syndra would just obliterate him. And we saw even in the last fight, Syndra doesn't need to have her ultimate up to do a lot of damage. I think it's going to be quite a tough one.
Yeah, with that Deadman's that he's rushed and the Ninja Tabi, he doesn't really have a defensive stand against her either.
I mean, potentially the Morgana, you know, if she doesn't get a black shield off, kind of taking her out of the fight so she can't peel or disrupt as much, could be one tactic.
I think ulting the Kayn isn't a bad choice, but not focusing the Kayn. They were sort of all crowded around him. Unless they wanted to catch on the Lucian and they wanted Kayn out of the fight with that Mordekaiser ult. That way they could just win the rest of the fight and then kill Kayn. But instead they just tried to sit around him and wait, and he just wasn't going down. And then they were getting hit from all the rest of the team. They want to be fighting the other team, but they want Kayn out of the fight.
Something to remember as well. I do believe, Black Shield blocks Mordekaiser ult if it's applied, so potential to screw something up here. I think they are going to just group around this dragon. It is Soul.
The
Cloud Soul coming
Mordekaiser
in.
with that Cloud Soul is going to be scary.
I think that they definitely want to contest this. Red buff coming in for Yasuo here.
I think they're strong enough for the fight. It's just not been played right just at the moment.
I think they probably want to try and recreate kind of Cassiopeia flank. Maybe not the exact same thing, but they can land a good ultimate. They can combo that so nicely.
Looks like they're grouping up here.
Kane's looking for
Nice
that side. It's a
damage.
big
big
Cassiopeia ult.
Cassiopeia
Going for that
coming
Syndra.
in.
Syndra's already down. Olaf on the back on the Lucian, just soaking up some damage. Yasuo's putting out a big amount of damage, but he's just stuck. Just
Big-
stuck on the
Big
Morgana.
tornado, but he just can't do anything. The exhaust coming out for Sejuani.
Kane was just wreaking havoc in that fight as well. Nothing they could do about it. Even with the Syndra gone.
Where
Just
did
not
that
enough ways to kill the carries.
Mordekaiser ult go? Did he use it on anyone?
I think it was on
I'm
Kane.
not sure, but I mean the Cassiopeia engage was very strong, but they just couldn't quite make it into a win.
Looks like that would be the game there.
Should be the game coming in here. Very well played from Red Team. That Kane pick ending up very, very strong. I
Yep.
feel like he didn't get punished enough early. They were very, very strong at rotating. Olaf just couldn't quite get the pressure on him that they needed.
I think that's why Syndra was such a nice pick here into the Cassiopeia, just because he knew he had that prioritization in the 2v2.